Hello, and welcome to my channel, and welcome back if you've been here before. Hello, I'm going to make a collage and I'm going to show how I do it, and I'm going to use the app called Paper, which I love for doing collage, and the app called Canva, which I love for adding flourishes and animation and glitter and glow. So let's do it. Alright, let's work with this fairy. So let's cut her out. We use our scissor tool and just get the shape of the fairy. Gotta get rid of all this background. I've been in a magical mood lately and I felt like exploring some more magical themes. I don't know that much about fairies. I don't know where the legends of fairies originates. I'm kind of curious and now I want to know. Where do fairies originate? Where do fairies originate? Where do fairies originate? Greek mythology. Isn't that interesting? Where fairies protected the earth with vigor and might. In the 1940s, England came up with a new idea of little people who were neither nice or evil. This invoked fear in the British, and the average citizen avoided every place that fairies lived. Oh my god, fairies terrify the Brits? That's so funny. Why are they afraid of fairies? I thought fairies... They defend the earth. I guess the Brits are the enemy of the earth? Isn't that funny? They say that there's various origins of fairies. Persian mythology, European folklore. The Bretons, the Welsh, the Cornish, the Gaelic, the Irish, the Scots, the Manx. I don't know who the Manx. Even the Germanic and the Middle French. Interesting. I like this little fairy. I'm going to use this little fairy. I'm not too keen on her wings, though. I don't think these wings are going to work. They don't look magical enough. They say that the label of fairy on Wikipedia has at times applied only to specific magical creatures with human appearance and magical powers and a penchant for trickery. At times it's been used to describe any magical creature, such as goblins or gnomes. Fairy has been used as an adjective meaning to be enchanted or magical. It also was used as a name for the place these beings come from, the land of fairy. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that background. I don't want that. I don't think that background's working. I think this fairy needs to go into a more believable setting. If she's going to be magical, then her setting has to be a bit more real. And I'm going to get rid of this bird cage too, because I do not believe in bird cages. Bird cages are wicked. I don't know how anybody could ever cage a bird. It's just savage. They say that fairies were also thought to haunt specific places and to lead travelers astray using the will-o'-the-wisps. They were often blamed for sickness as well and deformities. Oh, we put all our blame on the poor fairies. All they want to do is be pretty little critters. Let's give this girl a forest to meander in. I cut off her arm too because once I cut the bird cage out, that arm wasn't working anymore. So let's see what else happens. Let's see what else I can look for her. I'm going to get some mushrooms for the magic fairy. Every fairy needs a magic mushroom, don't you think? I think so. I love mushrooms too. These mushrooms are pretty. I don't know what these ones are called. These famous red cap mushrooms. Amanita muscaria. That's what those are called. Amanita muscaria. They're very, very famous. They're commonly known as the fly agaric or the fly amanita. They're native throughout the temperate and boreal regions of the northern hemisphere. They have been unintentionally introduced to many countries in the southern hemisphere as well, generally as a symbiont with pine and birch plantations. They are from the kingdom of fungi. They're the most iconic toadstool. I don't know what this brown one is, but I'm still reading about these red ones. They're the most iconic toadstool species, the most recognizable and widely encountered in popular culture, included in video games, in the Mario franchise, in the Super Mushroom Power-Up, also in the Smurfs. I remember them from the Smurfs as well. Despite its easily distinguishable features, I think it's poisonous, right? Yes, although poisonous, death due to poisoning is quite rare. Parboiling it twice with water draining weakens its toxicity and breaks down the psychoactive substances. Yeah, they eat some people actually eat it. She has some psychoactive substances. They are known for their hallucinogenic properties. Ooh, danger. Danger, danger. I'm going to fill this world with some mushrooms for our girl in case she wants to have a nice psychedelic trip. She just has to boil it. Boil it twice, please. Here's another one. Another of the cute little amanitas. Amanita. I think everybody should experience mushrooms. Besides the ones that you eat in delicious food, I think everybody should have a psychedelic experience at least once. I don't see any harm in it. As long as you're using the right mushrooms and not taking just any random mushroom you find in the woods. Make sure you are using the proper mushrooms. Put some mushrooms down here by the base of this tree. There we go. So by double clicking on an element in paper, you bring it to the foreground. By clicking on it again, it takes it to the background. I like this little mushroom too. I wonder if it's poisonous. Our fairy would know. She's magical. This is what's so fun about this app. I mean, look at all these images you just get. Now, I have the pro version of this app, but I'm pretty sure the free version also has access to the library, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I used just the free version. Maybe you have images, but not access to all of them. I'm not sure how it works. Now, the thing about doing a collage like this, you want to have a little bit of variation. Some things in the foreground, some things feel like there's in the background, so you'll change the size, vary the size. And the good thing about these mushrooms, they're easy to cut out, and so I'm getting a lot of progress quickly in this collage, just by cutting the mushroom out, getting some piece of the ground, because it all blends in the woods. No need to be so perfect. Just find a place where it can kind of blend in and then tidy it up a little bit. See, that can go back there because there's so much light back there. It's okay if there's some light on those grassy bits. That's fine. Another mushroom. Let's get this little guy. Take some of his ground. Give some jaggy edges to it to help it blend in a little bit. Again, the cut doesn't have to be perfect because we're in the woods. There's going to be lots of layers. Put this guy here. Love it. I like how it's feeling so far. When I make these collages, I like to think about What's the most magical image I can make? What's the most magical, dreamy image I can make? And also as fast as I can. Because I'm ruined my professional career in graphic design and television and film. Mostly television, making you work so fast. I really can't. I don't like to spend too much time on anything. I don't like to spend more than an hour making an image. I gotta get it done. I gotta have something. I have to feel like I've accomplished something. I gotta see something. I gotta see a story. I gotta see a story unfolding. I gotta see an image complete. I can't wait. I envy people who could spend days and weeks and months on an image. Oh, I envy you so much. I literally go out of my mind with boredom. I can't stare at an image for too long. My attention span has been damaged by the modern world, by my career, and by the internet. So now I gotta figure out how to make art that I find fulfilling. And for me, magical images make me feel happy. I like things that feel dreamy. Let's get rid of these wings. Her wings are too damn fake looking. They look like paper. We're gonna get them out of there. Bye, girl. Now I have this issue. You see, from the original image, she was walking through the woods, so there's some schmutz on her hand. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to cover that up in a believable way. Now I've got the mushrooms oversized, or she's very tiny. She's a tiny little fairy. It's possible that she's a tiny little fairy, but that means those butterflies are also very tiny. The butterflies should have been bigger if she... I like everything being weird sizes. We're going to experiment and take a look at what we think about these wings for her. I already know how this collage turns out. But play with me and let's see how it... Let's pretend I don't know how it's going to look. It's a moth. This is a moth. This is not a butterfly. I'm pretty sure. And look at those wings. Wow. The thing about these moth wings, they're like these giant moths, their wings are so thick. They're almost like giant, like thick bird wings. Butterflies have a thinner wing. It's a little more elegant, more translucent. Oh, I'm hungry. Sorry. You hear my stomach growling? I'll eat after I'm finished with this collage. I'm a starving artist. So we're going to double click and put it back there behind her. The colors are nice, but there's something they're just disappearing too much or something, or I just don't feel like those are her wings. So we're going to send this little guy off flying into the world. We're going to find some different wings for her. I'm going to go with a white wing to tie it more into her dress a little bit, so it feels more like part of her biology. Now that I'm looking at this image again, I should have cut out some of those red flowers too. But I could always add them later. Yeah, these are her wings. Fly, girl, fly. You go, girl, fly. There we go. There we go. See that? Now we're going to put these butterflies around. I don't want them clashing with her wings. But I like the idea that her wings look like butterfly wings. She's in a butterfly garden. And get some more monarchs. Shrunk down that moth so it doesn't look so chunky and weird. And he doesn't compete with her new beautiful white wings. You want to get the variation of the different sizes, move everything around, change the angles, have some things tilting one way, have some things tilting another way. And get some flowers in here. I usually use my own flowers in my collages, but I'm curious to see what kind of flowers Pexels has. I grow flowers in my garden, have a tiny little patch of grass, and I like to grow some flowers back there, and I use them in my artwork. So technically I could write off all my flowers. I could write off all the stuff I do for gardening, technically, but I've never done that. They don't have that many flowers to choose from in Pexels, and I have many more in my personal photos. There's Tom Cruise, see him? I'm obsessed with Tom Cruise. I love that photo of him. Alright, I'm going to use this dahlia that was sprung up right outside my back door. A woman on Twitter, she was showing some photos. She was growing dahlias in her garden, and one day the dahlias, after years of, growing these dahlias, the dahlia came in a totally different color, just like a radiant, just a bigger size, just more beautiful, subtle colors, just insane gorgeousness. And I'm convinced it's because the flower was saying thank you to her. Thank you for taking care of me all these years. Look what you've made. And it's picked up on something in her and made a special, whole new type of flower. That happens with dahlias. Let's put a flower in her hand. Since we've got this green thing stuck on her hand, maybe it looks like a little bit like she's holding a flower. Now, I've taken this into Canva next. I added a bunch of details off camera, a bunch of flowers and stuff, and now I'm bringing it into Canva to show you how I add the glitter. Because now that you've seen how I make the collages in paper, you know how to do that. You see here, I've got our girl. I added lots of stuff. I added a lot more flowers. I added some caterpillars, flowers from my garden. I added some caterpillars from Pexels. I added these big pink spinach seeds from my spinach plants in my garden. And now in Canva, I'm going to add some animated sparkling details. I also found a mask in Pexels, and I put it on her face just to change her face up a little bit, make it feel a little bit more mysterious and surreal. And you can see I also cut off pieces of her skirt and tilted them off to the side to make it feel like her skirt's blowing in the breeze a little bit, to cover up that green schmutz that was on her arm that I couldn't, it's not Photoshop. Paper doesn't have all the sophisticated tools that Photoshop has, so you can't blur things or color things or delete things. It's very, very basic, primitive collage tool. That's why I think it's the best tool for collage, because it's really the most like collaging with paper. You can't do any of the effects that you do in Photoshop, so it's much more, I like it for that reason. And there's some glows that I'm bringing in from the elements in Canva just to make it feel like the sun is really beaming through those trees. Like I said, I like a more magical collage, but I don't want to go into Photoshop. I want to use tools that people who don't have graphic design skills use. So just things that you can cut and paste in the true tradition of collage, which is why I love making my collages with paper and then embellishing them more in Canva. Because even though Canva has professional graphic design qualities to their elements, you don't need to be a professional graphic designer to use them. And that's why I love it. It's literally still just cutting and pasting, copy and paste, copy, paste, just like a collage, except the elements are animated for you in advance. But you still don't need, as the artist, you still don't need to know how to do that. You can just enjoy the juiciness of it, the shininess of it, the twinkliness of it, the gorgeousness of it. Look at that. Look at these gorgeous elements they have. I mean, come on, this is fantastic. All these sparkles and these gleams. Look at that. I love Canva. Canva is the greatest. I don't know who invented Canva, but the people behind Canva are just amazing, amazing people that they made these tools for people. And like I said, it satisfies my urge to get really fast results. So I can really just make something that I'm like, oh, that feels so nice. And just go into a dreamy world right away. Let's get some more sparkles. Let's see, what else can we put in here? Let's get some glows. Glow, 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 baby, glow. Look at that. I love these orbs of light. Just making it juicy, juicy. Canva. And Canva is also free. Now, the graphics that I'm grabbing that say Pro, you need a Pro account with Canva, but it's still incredibly reasonably priced for the amount of opportunity you have to just design and create, all the resources that are in Canva. It's just incredible the amount of art you can make with Canva. It's just absolutely incredible. Everybody needs Canva. Look at this. Look at these gleams. So I'm going to use these colorful ones inside the flowers. I'm going to reduce the opacity so that they're faded in, so you don't notice them that much. You just, when you look at the image when it's done, and you'll see it when I show you the finished one, it just makes the whole image feel like it's moving, it's alive, it's twinkling, it's vibrating. And that's what I love. I love all the magicalness of it. The magicalness. Is that a word? Now look at these. Look at this. They've got these beautiful like animated plants that kind of feel like they're moving in the breeze, and they grow. Woo! They bloom right there. I mean, come on. The artists behind Canva are the greatest. Look at this, how fun this is. I'm populating this magical fairy garden with all these blooming branches and flowers. Oh, I love it. I can't stand it how they move like they're in the wind. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so beautiful. Get some green glows in there for my forest. I don't know where that should go. Reduce the transparency a little bit. I don't know. Delete it. I didn't like it. I still want something sparkly. I just love it. Look at those plants blowing and growing. I love it. Blowing and growing. Canva. It's amazing. Let's get some more. I like that one. Put that there. Make another one. Look at that. I love it. It looks like she's walking through this magical field that's coming alive, full of caterpillars that are turning into butterflies while she's holding a bouquet of flowers. You see how I got, when I cut away her arm, I found a bouquet and I kind of made it work. Originally it had two hands and I cut the other hand out and just making it work. And I'm going to add some of these look at all these animated flowers you can get with Canva. Look how beautiful this app is. Come on. And the amazing thing about Canva is that you can use it on you can use it on your computer. It's web-based, so you can use it on your computer, you can use it on your iPad, you can use it on your cell phone. You don't even have to download the app. You can use it in their web-based interface right on their website, or you can also download the app, which is what I'm using here on my iPad. I'm downloading the app. But because it's web-based, once you download the app and you use it on your tablets, any computer you go to anywhere in the world, you can log into your account on Canva and have access to all of your files that you've made in Canva, all of your templates that you've made in Canva. It's just the convenience and the beauty. It's just the most wonderful app. I can't recommend it enough. So the combination of Canva with paper to make artwork, I just find so rewarding and enjoyable. And I really recommend it. I just love seeing how all these plants in this magical fairy garden are now coming to life and blooming. It just takes it a whole nother level. I'm like, now I get lost in this drawing. Like, I want to be a fairy. I want to walk through a garden with my butterfly wings and have all the flowers growing at my feet as I step through the magical forest. I love it. Isn't it pretty? Put a little more sparkle in the sky. And play with these. And I feel like we're almost there. We're almost ready to show it off. Now we're going to export it. You have many ways to export it. I'm going to export this as a movie so that it's the highest resolution possible, so that all my colors are nice and juicy. And what's fun about this is you could make a whole bunch of images. You could like do a photo shoot of yourself, and you could put yourself into all kinds of backgrounds and like tell a story. You could even shoot video of yourself on green screen, make all these imaginary worlds, and just make a really beautiful visual thing. I mean, I could do that too, but I don't want to be a performer, so I guess I gotta find a performer to do it for me. But yeah, like, oh, how fun. So then you save it on your device, and then you have it. You have a beautiful image. Look at how it works. Beautiful Canva. Paper Canva jam. Magical fairy moving through the forest. She's got flowers blooming in her crown of flowers, and in her bouquet. Twinkling stars everywhere. I really love it. So what are you making in Canva? Are you a Canva addict like I am? Do you love it? Do you love paper the way I love it? Do you love to make collages? Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about how cool Canva is. You like how I do that? Tell me how cool you think Canva is. I can't imagine anybody ever having a problem with Canva. It's wonderful. So yeah, that's my collage for today. Today's collage, a magical forest with a magical fairy with a mask, surveying all the magic in the woods in a mushroom world.